Back with your host, Maurice Kennard, CEO of SLOWMOED. Thank y'all for tuning in on this Wednesday evening. If you're new to the channel, make sure you stop and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 1,000 subscribers. So we can really use y'all help if you just press the subscribe button and help us out so that we can reach our intermediate goal. Today we're going to talk about the first man to use African-Moorish science to create portals in this human history. So you're meeting the guy right now as I formally introduce myself. And to get to that task, it was difficult, but we managed to do it and navigate through the BS somehow so that we could aspire and get it done. And we couldn't have did it without all the hardships that I've been put through by these various obstacles, as I mentioned in the previous live streams. So yes, it's just pure perseverance, grit, and ambition to overcome the enemies of Ma'at. Ma'at simply means truth, justice, harmonious balance, and reciprocity, according to the ancient African or ancient Egyptian Kemetic philosophies of truth, harmonious balance, Ma'at, basically the laws of the universe in the better sense. So thank y'all for joining. Want to chop it up with y'all and share some knowledge. And yeah, hope y'all been enjoying our latest slow-moed Moorish portals. We've hit basically a snag, but we're getting back into it. As you all may know, creating these portals for you guys is an easy task since we're using African-Moorish science that hasn't been used in this type of way in this human history. So we need all the support we can get from you guys. We need your spiritual energy. Spirit simply means breath, according to etymology, or breathing. So we need y'all spiritual energy, and your subscribes will help as well. But basically, we need y'all to, for example, like reference to the popular anime Dragon Ball Z, lend us your energy by subscribing. Yeah. Um, if you look at me now, I'm currently wearing our merchandise, our slow-moed reflective gray vinyl t-shirt. This t-shirt is available in different colors. So check that out on our official website. And we have much to cover, much to cover. Exciting things, exciting. We have some exciting things coming up in the future for the channel. We just need y'all support, continued support. The love is very much appreciated. It's a daunting task just to be the progenitor of African-Moorish science on this level, in this span of time, the realm of time and space. But we're doing it nonetheless. I don't know if y'all are familiar, but I recently ran into, I'll say this. I recently stumbled upon, if y'all are familiar, the YouTube channel I Am Temple, ran by a guy named Rami. I don't know his last name, but basically, I realized that Rami, or IAMHH Temple YouTube channel, continuously was calling, if y'all are familiar with Taj Tariq Bey, one of the Moorish master teachers on YouTube, basically kept calling him a phony. And he's been calling Taj Tariq Bey a phony for the past 5+ years. And also basically causing disharmony in the community of people that are trying to acquire more Moorish wisdom and knowledge on the subject, as opposed to just only joining the so-called Moorish American group or Moorish Science Temple of America group. So there's a misunderstanding of the semantics of the word Moor or Moorish as it relates to the Moorish Science Temple of America. And there are some truths that are not being told by the Moorish Americans that are a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America and the other various Moorish science organizations. They're not connecting the etymological link to Moors going back before the Arab conquest of North Africa and before 711 AD. So they're not addressing that, which is causing confusion amongst the newcomers to the information. Not only this, but you have various secret orders trying to cover this up, and also ignorant people that don't even understand what it is, but combat it because it doesn't align with their beliefs. And basically, with our channel, with our business, we're using our African-Moorish knowledge in order to create portals to bridge you guys to the information at hand, to transport you perceptionally to the information at hand from point A to B. We're not capable of transporting, I would say, physical matter from point A to point B as of the year 2025. But we can perceptionally transport your visuals, your hearing to, and your perception to different levels and dimensions with our various audio-visual content, so-called portals, or music videos, and our merchandise. As you can see, I have for our logo, I have a shin, which signifies a rope of light in ancient Kemetic philosophy. It's also called a cartouche, which means a rope of light. And, well, I don't know what exactly it means in French. Not currently, at least. However, the real name of it is Shin. So we offer this Moorish African science through our fashion, through our clothing, through our merchandise, through our videos, and through our portals and blogs. So make sure you go to our official website, check that out, and be sure to, I can't stress enough, be sure to subscribe. Press that subscribe button. We are almost to 1,000 subscribers. I plan on doing a special video for the 900th subscriber coming up, so stay tuned for that. I should be releasing that soon, depending on how many subscribers I get in a timely fashion. I need you guys to subscribe, to like our videos, and to comment as well. Interact with our community. Follow our social media pages. We have TikTok, Twitter or X, Facebook, and Instagram, and LinkedIn as well. So make sure you visit those websites as well as our official website and our Etsy page, and just basically support our channel. So I, the founder of SLOWMOED LLC, was able to create Moorish portals using African-Moorish mysticism and esoteric philosophy of the ancient Africans, and harness this wisdom in order to bring it about in the realm of time and space. Now, that may sound like science fiction to a lot of y'all, but I guarantee you, if you do the research and look up what I just said, you'll be able to find the deeper philosophies of what I'm talking about. You may not be able to understand it, but you'll be led to it if it's not countered by Google algorithm or counterintelligence. So yes, this isn't science fiction. This isn't no spooky talk. This isn't paganism. No, I'm simply espousing the truth for those that are willing to listen and give a listening ear, or those that are willing to give a read if you're deaf. So we're doing our part as well as, well, we're doing our part contributing to the human society by doing our best every day and introducing new thoughts to new ideas to scientific thought using African-Moorish science. So it's quite exciting. You all should be able to learn a lot from our slow-mo live streams. We live stream every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So you should be able to catch us during this time. We usually stream from um, 10 minutes to possibly 2 hours sometimes. It ranges. We don't have a set standard right now. We're just trying to get our community active, get people to join our lives and contribute to the conversation, and even inquire and ask questions that they may deem unanswered. So we're we are here for the people. We've been here for the people, and we will continue to be for the people. We just need you guys to acknowledge that. We are slowly building our platform. We need more subscribers. We need more viewers to get so that we can get our important knowledge and information out to you guys so that you can be able to aspire to higher levels of wisdom using African-Moorish knowledge. So, yes. Let me know if y'all can hear me for those that join in live. Can y'all hear me? Have you guys been reading? Let me know in the comment section. Let me know what type of books you guys have been reading. I would love to know. I'm currently reading, well, I've already read this book, but it's called The Golden Trade of the Moors by E.W. Boville. And there's an interesting note that I left in here I want to go over. Since there tends to be a lot of confusion in the Moorish African community as regards to the meaning of what a Moor is. So, according to a lot of the Moorish Science Temple of American folks, according to the guys that are calling themselves Moorish Americans as opposed to Moors, there seems to be a uh, they seem to have not want to be a part of Africa as that being the origin of humankind and where the African Americans or so-called black people came from. So I will start on this page. This is page 222, 221 through 222 of the Golden Trade of the Moors. I'm going to start down here. And it says that the cartographers remained so long in ignorance of the interior of Africa was partly due to European apathy. Since the great discoveries of the 15th century had laid bare the dazzling wealth of the Americas and the East, Africa had lost most of its attraction. Human avarice, the greatest spur to geographical discovery, no longer looked to Africa to be sated. The common man found other continents more stirring to his imagination. Although the gold trade had dwindled, Europeans were still trading with Barbary, and on an increasing scale with the Guinea coast, the interest in the dark interior had not been altogether lost. The ignorance of the cartographers was mainly due to the failure of the European merchants to penetrate inland either from the northern ports or from the trading beaches of Guinea. So the Europeans mainly stuck to the outer coast of Africa. And there's a quote at the beginning of chapter 20 on page 221 that I have highlighted. It says, "For surely those interior parts of Africa are little known to either English, French, or Dutch, though they use much the coast." A quote by Captain John Smith. So continuing on page, oh, excuse me, it's page 203, which is page chapter 20, and 204. I'm on 204 now. Now, where I was continuing, in the north, in spite of the decline of the gold trade, excuse me, in the north, in spite of the decline of the gold trade, the old fear of the European ousting the local middleman continued, and he was still denied footholds in the hinterland. But the penetration of the interior had been made even more difficult for him by the material change in the political relationship between Europe and the Barbary states. Throughout the Middle Ages, piracy, both Christian and Muslim, had been an ever-present condition of maritime life in the Mediterranean. But as we have seen, it has never permitted to hamper trade. At the beginning of the 16th century, this mutual tolerance was brought to an end by the unhappy synchronization of the expulsion of the Moors from Spain with the rise of the Ottoman sea power in the European waters. The expelled Moors settlements all along the northern coast, whence they sought to avenge themselves of their hated oppressors by raiding the familiar shores of Spain and harassing Christian shipping, especially in the Straits of Gibraltar and the Malta Passage. The African coast, abounding in shelter, creeks, and inlets, was admirably suited to their purpose. They succeeded, moreover, in enlisting and assistance of the Turks, who, led by the famous Barbarossa brothers from Lesbos, quickly became the predominant partners in what came to be called the scourge of Christendom. Within a few years, every harbor of Jerba in the east and Salé in the west held its pirate fleet. So during this time, during the Middle Ages, the European powers were being targeted by the Moors or the Africans, that the African Moors, they were being basically harassed by the African Moors that they had cast out of Spain during the Spanish Inquisition, or after the Spanish Inquisition as well. So the Spanish Inquisition was the expulsion of the Moors and Jews from Spain and the other alternative parts of Europe. And the Moors that went and fled back into North Africa then became corsairs or pirates, and then started to ravage the European coast, taking slaves of the captains of those various ships. There's another book called Piracy and Slavery by Nabil Maltar and Daniel Vickus. Piracy and the Redemption, something like that. But basically, he went over the history, the general history of the Moors or corsairs or African pirates, basically enslaving, or Muslim pirates as well, enslaving the European ships and holding them for ransom. And that led to the establishment of various Christian orders and even diplomats coming to rescue the Christian captives that were collected by the Muslim powers, or Moorish slash African, because it was a combination of the Moorish, African, and Arabs. So that's just the general history. So, but before the Arab conquest, the whole northern part of Africa, they were referred to by the earlier Greeks as mauros, the dark-skinned people, or mauri by the Romans, according to I can't even think of the name right now. UNESCO General History of Africa by G. Mokhtar. Can't think of the exact page, but I have a that's available on my Twitter page. Go to our Twitter page. You can look up a tweet at slow-moed 420. Proof of Moors slash Mauri, 900 years before Islam existed. So Islam started around the 6th century AD. So they were calling the dark-skinned Africans, the Romans were calling the dark-skinned Africans they met in Morocco, what we call now Morocco area. We're calling them Mauri as well. Well, the Carthaginians recruited Mauri into their army, according to G. Mokhtar. But however, G. Mokhtar was an Arab diplomat for UNESCO, and it is stated by Dr. Ivan van Sertima, and I believe one of his later lectures, that Dr. Ivan van Sertima, Sheikh Anta Diop, or Sheikh Anta Diop, and G. Mokhtar went to a private library in, I believe, Europe. I can't think of the specific country at the moment, but they tried to receive the splinters of the Sphinx's nose, or the Heru M. Aketi statue in Cairo, Egypt, in front of the 3 pyramids of Giza. Tried to receive the splinters of the nose to bring it back to Egypt and put it on the Sphinx to restore it, but the private museum director, I suppose, I can't think, I'm not familiar with the names, whatever, but I do remember Dr. Ivan Van Serma was saying that he himself, Sheikh Hamza Diop, and G. Mokhtar went there to try to receive it, and G. Mokhtar remained quiet, so they were unable to receive the splinters of the Sphinx's nose. And he describes that better in detail in his lecture. But I just wanted to bring that to y'all's attention because this is information that I had to find out, and it wasn't easy to come by since there's a lot of misinformation going around, and it wasn't mentioned in his books. Well, the books that I read from him. So I thought that I should shed some light or bring some knowledge to you guys regarding that topic. But yes, it's quite unfortunate. But nonetheless, the the power of African-Moorish science can't be stopped, though it has been they the people that do not want African-Moorish science to thrive or to be recognized as the progenitor of Western civilization sciences. The people that wants to stop that are trying their hardest to discredit and shadow Africans' um, contributions to Western civilization. Now, there's other books that goes over this, Destructions of Black Civilizations by Chancellor Williams, um, Stolen Legacy by George G.M. James, etc. And it's it's quite ridiculous, but we still persevere, even though they try to mislabel the people in the Western Hemisphere calling themselves black that don't have a nationality and went through slavery for um, almost 5 centuries, well, pretty much 5 centuries, went through slavery and, had their name stripped from them as that would be the Moors, which is who they are descendants from. And basically, etymologically, what means dark skinned and swarthy, North African, according to etymology. So there are these Moorish Science Temple of America members that want to basically say follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali and peace to Noble Drew Ali, great man. However, the term Moorish existed before Moorish American existed. So there's confusion to try and basically muddy the waters of what the true term and etymological meaning of Moorish means or Moor means. So they're trying to get you to join the club and follow these teachings of a man, basically putting you in the box as opposed to going with dealing with real history, real human history, pre 1913 and pre 7/11. So that's what can trap a lot of people. It's basically a hoodwinking of the people that are expiring for true knowledge, and it's a very unfortunate thing. And a lot of these Moorish scholars on YouTube aren't addressing this because I suspect myself, I don't have the proof, but I suspect that majority of these guys are a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and they aren't. Um, they are obligated to possibly keep their secrets, but they start their own temples and other branches. It's just like the Masonic orders. It is stated by, if y'all are familiar with Malachi Z. York, stated by Malachi Z. York in his book, The Masking of Secret Societies. He mentions that Noble Drew Ali was a Freemason in his book. Now, I don't know how necessarily true that is, but that is his opinion. And so I've heard from his opinion that Noble Drew Ali is a Freemason, and I've heard from other opinions that Noble Drew Ali isn't a Freemason. But the thing is, Malachi Z. York was a Mason and he was a Shriner. So there's that. So it's quite unfortunate, but science prevails, and no matter what the people that opposes African-Moorish science try to do, they can't stop it. No matter what they do, no matter how many things they build, they dig up from the soil, no matter how many monuments they deface. We have science, and the science has origins in Africa. Now, that's DNA, that's radiocarbon dating, that's the calendar, that's time, it's everything. It's quite ridiculous, and it's like I don't have a platform to get this out to the masses of people. That's why we need y'all support to hit that subscribe button, support our business, so that uh, we can basically address these issues and put out more content at a faster speed, so that we can get this done in a faster manner, so that more people's lives won't be um, well, I'll say this: more people won't be unalived at a faster rate, unfortunately. But yes, we're doing our work, and uh, yeah, it's a uphill fight, and many many rather ignore it than address it. So that's what our job is, and that's what we're going to do, and that's what we are doing. So we're doing some things that have never been done before in this human history, and we're doing it with impunity, and we will continue to do so because the victory is already won. We just need for people to wake up and realize that the victory is already claimed, and to realize that there's only one race, and that's the human race. Though it has been um, misconstrued, and the understanding that there's only one human race has been um, destroyed by ignorance. And many people don't believe that human beings are Homo sapiens sapiens, and don't understand anthropology and biology according to science. So we have some people that don't even follow the scientific method, basically coming up with uh, with their opinions on what science has revealed according to what's observable. So we that's a danger as well, because that's simply ignorance, and we have to address these issues. We have to get to the truth, because we have some more Science Temple of American folk believing that humanity started in America, but they don't use any radiocarbon dated bones that predates what was found in Africa. But there's this cognitive dissonance to disconnect from Africa because of either some alternative political motive or simply ignorance. And it's like that with secret societies as well, but also the public people. So you have three. You have the Moorish Science Temple of America, you have secret societies, and you have the public people. And that some understand and some don't understand. That's called knowledge, and that's called ignorance. So ignorance is dangerous. Ignorance. That's one of my favorite words is ignorance. But ignorance is dangerous, and in the wrong hands, it can be severely devastating to human history and human development. So we have people that aren't using the scientific method to get to the origins of Homo sapiens sapiens. So they believe that you have some people believe that humanity was 5,000 to 80,000 years ago. You have some people believe that Homo sapiens sapiens originated in America. They don't present any evidence, um, but you still have people that believe that. So according to the scientific method, the mitochondrial Eve analysis of science can be traced back to Africa. However, you have some people saying that, for example, oh, that's the white man's science, white man's terms. So you'll see this basically on TikTok of these dudes, these short videos of these dudes in these cars. They don't have any credentials behind their names, and like so I don't know if they're like, if they what books they read, if they read any. I don't know if they just smoke weed. I don't know if they just take DMT. I don't know if they just speculate and hypothesize with their friend. I don't know. But they create TikTok videos. Now these people can be either ignorant or they could be a part of secret societies undercover. I don't know. But when they spew these things like America is the origin of Homo sapiens sapien and don't provide any evidence, that's an issue, and that's ignorance according to science. So this is danger, and many of these big platforms, these big channels with a lot of followers, for example, Sonnetter, uh, Coop 3, Big, David Osiris on Twitter. Basically, they repost these TikToks of like these dudes they're not showing their credentials to basically go over what they're talking about. Not that credentials are important, but they're not backing up their evidence. And for those of you, I implore you to back up your evidence with scholarly references that can be checked, that can be referenced, so that you can get others to lead them to that knowledge. Now, I do understand there are orders and secret organizations that used to burn books, used to burn information, alter information. Now, I understand this, but still people need the information. So if you can lead them back to a book, give them a book reference, give them a video, citing sources, or even showing pictures of the physical place, we can get a better understanding to those that are ignorant, so that they won't jump to assumptions and make TikToks and try to brainwash other people into believing some false concepts. So yes, um, that's a mouthful, but it needs to be said because a lot of these Moorish Science Temple American guys, they wear the fez, but that's not the only African hat. There's the Fulani hat, there's the Nimitz, whatever you want to call it, the Dorze hats, Ethiopia, etc. There's multiple African hats, not just the Moor hats, the Moorish fez. Yes. So, Homo sapiens sapien, which is every modern human being according to science, originates in Africa. I don't have any evidence of aliens, so for those that thinking we're Anunnaki, that's above my level of understanding. And if you can provide um, some evidence, whether that be from Zachariah Sitchin or whoever, I would love to see. Um, I would like to know who the Atlanteans were, and why that's not discussed in um, the media today or currently accepted by scholars. But if you have that knowledge, please feel free to drop it. Um, but as far as I'm concerned, with human beings and what we do know, Homo sapiens sapien originated in Africa, 160 to 300,000 years ago. So that's what I've been able to gather according to my research. And yes, it's so we need more subscribers on our channel, so that we can put out more knowledge and be able to reach a larger audience and give them information that they may be lacking in certain areas. So that's what we're planning to do. So yes, that was a mouthful, but yeah, we're creating Moorish portals using African-Moorish science. So we couldn't have did it without African-Moorish science. So yes, we're indebted to the Africans, or what we call the Africans. We're indebted to Al-Kibalan, the spirit, the motherland. We are indebted. Our sciences, our mathematics, our physics, our music, our technology, medicine, philosophy, language, religion, spirituality, etc. We are indebted to that, to the Africans. So I'm gonna be in this live stream. I thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all watch all of our live streams. Put it on repeat. Go to our live stream playlist. Put it on repeat. You'll be able to learn a lot of things while you're at work or while you're on the grind. You can listen to our live streams, and we can address a lot of questions, or even encourage new thoughts, new provoking ideas to provoke new thoughts in you. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for subscribing, and continue to hit that subscribe button. And we're going to the top, and we can do it without you guys. All right. Peace out.